Oh, this video took me way longer than I want to admit to make. Like, I started it days ago and then I just couldn't really find the words, and then I started it up again, and then it was just a back and forth thing for several days now, and I finally sat down to just record some of my gameplay here on my server because this video is server related, and I figured I would just work on my little spawn here. Boy, was I struggling keeping focused, trying to just record some just general me building, and so that way I can just talk. And I go back and forth, and it's just a whole thing. But anyway, running a Minecraft server sounds really fun, and it is. But there's a side of it that people don't really talk about, and that's what I'm here to talk about in this video. Honestly, it can be really hard sometimes. I do run my own server completely on my own, without anybody else paying for it. I am the sole owner and the sole person who pays for this Minecraft server. And fun fact, I am also on SSI, so my income is pretty limited. So every month, paying for the server isn't, it's not nothing, you know, it's actually one of my bigger luxury expenses, which can definitely complicate things a little bit. And I'm going to talk about the reasons why. Now, I do want to iterate that, you know, yes, I'm on SSI. It is primarily meant to pay for your food and for, like, you know, bills, expenses that you have other than food. But it is not to say that I am not allowed to have, like, some fun and enjoyment. So I'm obviously not going to be talking too much about that part of it, but I just wanted to iterate that I am allowed to enjoy myself. I'm allowed to have fun, and Minecraft is my fun. So that's what I spend some of my money on every month. And it's not too much money, but it is technically a luxury. So I think I pay about like 30 something bucks a month for my server. So it's not really that much money if you wanted to know. Not that anybody needs to know, but for me it is a luxury. So when a server is active and people are playing, it feels amazing. Like it's worth it. Like it has life. But when no one's on, it just feels quiet. And it turns into this weird feeling of, why am I still paying for this? It's not just about the money, it's also the motivation. It's hard to keep something going when it feels empty. And that is a serious side effect to not really knowing a heck of a lot of people who play Minecraft. I have a very small handful of people that I know will play Minecraft with me, especially because it's modded. Not everybody likes modded Minecraft, and that's totally fine. And plus, not everybody has Minecraft to begin with. So it's one of those things where, you know, you're going to potentially hit a point where nobody's going to be online. And that is one of my biggest struggles when it comes to owning a server, is that people have their moment in Minecraft and they're done. And sometimes that will be weeks of playing, days of playing, more likely not months, but I mean, some people do want to get on months at a time, but most people don't. They spend a few weeks and they're done. And that's very, very, very difficult for me because I also go through the same thing. I also have like days or weeks that I play, months that I play, and then I'm done. I'm done playing. It just goes without being played, and that's kind of rough when you're, you know, limited income. So the other aspect of owning a server is the technical struggles of it. And there's the the technical side of things. When something breaks, it's on me. If there's a bug or the server crashes or something isn't working, I'm the one who has to figure it out. Sometimes that means restarting the server, and by restarting the server, I mean like literally killing the whole world and restarting. Sometimes it means digging through settings and trying to fix things I don't fully understand. And that can get really stressful, especially when you're doing it alone. And again, you know, I'm going to say this a lot, but it's really not on anybody else but me. I'm the one who owns the server. I'm the one who has that I'm paying for. You know, I use a server host, and that's you know, it's going to be on me to fix it. Many people don't know how to fix these certain bugs, or don't know how to read the log that you can get from a crash report. You know, like it's called a crash report, but not everybody knows how to read it, and not everybody knows where to find what it is that's causing the issue. Sometimes I have to look it up myself. I have to go to Google and figure it out. Like, what is this? What does this mean? Or I have to turn to social media. Like, what can anybody tell me what this means? You know, it's difficult. And with that said, you would think that I can just turn to the server host and, you know, ask them, hey, do you know what this means? But that is another issue that I run across in the past, and that's where this next little section here comes in. I actually used the same server host for years, and it was fine until it wasn't. I ran into issues and support wasn't great, and it just became frustrating. And that was a previous server hoster, which Jesus, it's been so long now I can't even remember what it was. And it's a very popular server hoster, and then if I figure it out, I'll put it in the description. I'll put in the description like what server host to avoid once I figure it out, because right now my brain is just melting. So that server hoster, it was great for the longest time. It was affordable, like actually really affordable, and that's why I stuck with them for so long, because it was affordable. It was very competitive for price. It was great. I loved it. Wonderful. But it turns out, and I'm not the only one, but the customer support became hot garbage, and it was much harder to get help. As a matter of fact, in order to get, like, you know, further in the queue, or further up in the queue, if you're waiting for a ticket to be answered, which, my God, I put in so many tickets. If you can, if it's important enough to you, you can pay to get it boosted, to get yourself boosted in the queue. It was a few bucks, but like, that's crazy. It's crazy that you would have to pay to get boosted in a queue, you know. And if your issue is important enough, I mean, of course you're paying for this server. It's kind of important that you get answers pretty quickly as humanly possible. I'm not expecting magic, but, you know, like in some cases, I really needed to get an answer ASAP because I'm paying for the server, and I want to know what the heck's going on, right? So I did pay for it a few times. I paid for the queue to go up. I'm like, I need answers now. It was horrible. The customer support was also really bad in general. Not helpful. Not as helpful as it could have been, and not as helpful as once was. So I switched to a new server host. And it's honestly a lot better. The support is way more responsive and helpful. But it's also more expensive. So now I'm paying more, but getting better reliability and support, which is worth it. But still something I have to think about every month. And that's just the truth. I mean, I have to really consider it every month. Like, hey, this is more expensive. I'm pretty sure it's a little over $3, but I have to double check. And it's through Bisect Hosting, for those interested. It's fucking phenomenal service. Let me tell you, something way better than the previous hoster, which, again, I will definitely call them out in my description. Bisect has been amazing. It really has been amazing. The customer support is so freaking fast. I can't believe how quick it is. And it does make it more worth it to me to pay the higher price for their service, because their service is superior. It's better. It's really, really, really good. And so for me, it's worth it. But it's also more expensive. So there's that. Then we move on to feeling guilty and the fact that I have neurodivergence. I am not neurotypical. I have I am neurodivergent. So, yeah. Something I struggle with a lot is wanting to start over. Like a fresh world, new builds, new ideas, just something new. And a part of that is because I have ADHD. I get really into things, but I also get burnt out, and then I crave that new start feeling again. But the hard part is people spend so much time on the server. They build things, they invest their energy into it, and I feel really guilty when thinking about resetting everything. Even though I'm the one paying for it, it still feels like I'd be taking something away from them. And that is the hard and truth about this. So this actually plays into just the paying for it aspect. So obviously, like I just said. But it's like, the fact is that when I can call back to the when nobody's around, and the server feels empty and quiet, it kind of plays into this restarting the server thing. Because when nobody's around, I really do feel like, okay, truly, what's the point in paying for the server and nobody's on? But then I feel insanely guilty for wanting a fresh start, even if nobody's really around, or if only one person's around every few weeks. I will always feel guilty about this. I will always feel very stressed out about this. I don't like starting over. It's not something that I want to do. But because of my brain, it's something that it's like, I need something different. Because you gotta imagine and think, I spend so much time creating a spawn. I spend a lot of time making my own builds and surviving and building there too. I will take time away from survival and I will try and work on something to like refresh, people, and like dungeon making, or like I want to do like a quest thing. Like I want to set up something where people can do a quest thing, and like I love building and I love doing that and I love being creative. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world. I love it. But if nobody's around, I start to feel kind of burnt out and I get kind of bored because nobody's around. And that is literally nobody's fault. I mean, I will reiterate over and over and over again, especially if friends of mine watch this, like, it is nobody's fault but my own, really. It's my brain. It's my brain doing this to me. It's my brain that is creating this weird, feeling that I'm feeling. And it's completely on me. 110%, it's on me. This is all me. So it's nobody's fault that I feel that way. But at the same time, I cannot help it. I cannot help to feel like I need something different. And it's a consistent problem. I do feel like if I had people potentially donating, some money to my server, it might feel a little bit different. I might feel a little more obligated to keep it around because of the donations to cover the server cost, or if I had just more people playing. Typically speaking, I only have a very small handful of people playing consistently. And because of that, you will run into the problem that anybody with a small server will run into, is that, well, you're a small server. So you're going to experience periods in time where people are just not going to be around. But that aspect of it is very hard for me because I am low income and part of my income goes into the server. And I want to keep doing that because I love the experience of multiplayer. But it just comes with its struggles. It really does. When it comes to ADHD especially, it comes with some struggles. With that said, though, I do care a lot about my server. Like, a ton. It's not just a game for me. It's something I've built, something I maintain, and something I really want to see thrive. But it's also a responsibility. And sometimes it's a heavy one. If you've ever run into a server... if you've ever run a server, or even just been part of a small community like that, you probably get it. It's very, very difficult. It can be stressful. It can be hard when you don't have other people to depend on helping you run the server. It could be really hard when you're the only sole person paying for it, especially if you're in my situation where your income is limited. Let's face it, in today's age, income, money in general, whatever, it's a very prized and coveted thing. especially right now when groceries are more expensive, when bills are more expensive. My boyfriend owns this house. You know, we're very, very, very fortunate to have a house right now. Like, you know, we do have some things that I'm very fortunate for, but at the end of the day, money is very tight for most people. I am able to do this. I am able to afford to have a server. It is not too expensive. It's not too much money for me to spend every month to have the server going. It really isn't. Honestly, it's really not that bad. Could it be better? Absolutely. Do I want to close the server down? No, I really don't. I love this server, and I really love the idea of having a modded server. I can easily go back to playing vanilla on Realms, which I do have a Realms server, and I also have a Bedrock Realms Plus server, which are both really, really cheap. The positive thing about Bedrock is that you can mod it through the marketplace, which is really nice. So I can be up to date on, you know, the latest release of Minecraft, and I can enjoy the benefits of having the marketplace on Bedrock. It's great. But the downside to Bedrock is that most of the people that I know don't play on Bedrock. They might join it, and, you know, they'll deal with some of the drawbacks of Bedrock, but it's just not Java. And I do like it, but it's just not Java. And if you're a Java player, you understand what I'm saying. If you've ever experienced Bedrock, you will get that. You'll get that very much so. And then, of course, there's Java. And I have Realms there, but it's completely 100% vanilla until some client-side mods are updated, which right now we just had a new Minecraft drop. Some mods are going to take a minute to update. And though there are client-sided mods that you can use, like a mini-map, world map, and all that stuff, shaders and all that stuff, it's still very much a vanilla experience. And of course, the majority of people that I know are like, I don't really care about the vanilla experience. At least for the people that commonly play Minecraft with me. They're not really into the Java experience anymore. They don't mind it, but they're not as into it as they used to be. Like, you know, long time ago now. Mods just make the game more fun. So, with all that said, owning a server is not easy, and it never will be easy. As a matter of fact, it's extremely difficult, and it's even more harder when you have ADHD or other neurodivergence. I really do love my server. I love having the experience. I love, you know, experiencing new things. I like experimenting with new mods. I like to, like, there's just so many positives. There's so many things, and just, you know, like, I have so many fond memories in my server. But I can tell you right now, what you're seeing on the screen, I have literally restarted this world probably over 10 times. It hasn't been opened yet to the public, like my, you know, people that I know, as far as quote-unquote public goes. But I have restarted this world so many times because of either bugs happening, like truly bugs, just bugs, or I don't like the world that I, you know, got chosen, because, you know, it's random every time. So I would restart the world to see if I can get something better, like a better spawn, better just location, whatever. So that several times, many times. Oh my gosh, so many times have I restarted this world. So bugs, mods not working, mod clashing, you know, setting up a server in general takes a very, very long time. And so I would test it in single player, and I would, you know, add a mod. I would add a mod and then test it in a single player world. Does it work? Cool. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next mod. Let's start another world. It can take days, weeks. Sometimes it can take like a month. It really depends on what I'm doing and what I'm trying to portray, or what I, you know, oh man. The previous server that I had running, that people had people in it, my God, it took like a month, over a month, I think. I can't remember. It took me a long time. I had lore. I had things. I had, like, you know, proper lore. Like, I had things written out. I had my friends help me write books for a library that I had. Like, we're talking a lot of work and effort went into that world. And I loved it. I loved it so much. but I started getting burnt out. I was trying to also do some like a casino in Redstone, and it was a whole thing, and we weren't able to figure it out. And then I had a just giant building that was just sitting there, and I just got very burnt out. I really did. I got so burnt out, and I just didn't know how to keep going, even though I loved what I made, what I created. I really truly loved it so much. It was one of my favorite iterations of my server that I've made, because it had so much cool lore in it, and it was just so cool. It was so much fun. But people started to die out and not getting on anymore. So it made it really hard for me to be alone in this world that nobody else was on. And I got rid of it. And here we are. So if you struggle with a server, a Minecraft server, if you struggle with your neurodivergence and you just, you get bored easy, or you just have a really hard time, like, it doesn't have to be a server. I just trust me when I say you're not alone. I struggle every day, and I love this, what I'm doing, what I'm working on right now, but I'm scared because I know my brain, and I know that I'm gonna get bored, and I'm gonna want something different and new, and it freaks me out because I don't want to keep going back and forth. It's so frustrating. So I could have multiple servers. I could have like my Cobblemon server that I really loved. Then I can have the survival world. Or I can do like whatever else, there's so many ideas, there's so many things, but I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to have different types of servers running. Even though my brain is sitting here like, oh, you got this idea too. This idea is really, really good. You should do this idea. It's so hard. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. This is a really depressing video, and I'm so sorry. But I just really wanted to get my feelings and my thoughts out, because owning a server comes with so many challenges. It could be, it could be the fact that I have a neurodivergence. I have ADHD, and we suspect that I have autism as well. So I'm and I have so many other issues. And yeah, running a server is hard, but I love it. I do love it. I enjoy it very, very much. I like to create a story. I like to create different, scenarios and stuff. I like to play different mods, and it's fun, but just understand that owning a server comes with so much responsibility, and it can be challenging. Choose the right server hoster. I recommend Bisect Hosting. I really do. They're amazing. Like, actually fucking awesome. Choose what's best for you. Be a little selfish if you have to. Don't feel so overly guilty like I do. It's horrible to feel so guilty. And I feel bad whenever I do anything that's, against my player base. I feel really bad, but at the same time, yeah. But anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. I look forward to the next video. I have no idea what it's going to be about, but I just needed to talk about this. Like, it's more for me than anything else. I needed to vent a little bit about my struggles and what I'm experiencing, because it's very hard. But here's to the struggle.